Hey guys, Tina here and welcome to another weekly reads video in which I will let you know what I managed to read in the previous week and what I hope to get to in this one. So last week I finished off by reading the third book in the famous 5 series by Enid Blyton, 5 Run Away Together, it's what it's called, and it's another cute adventure and the kids are back in the Kieran household, but things are not that great because George's mother is sick and her uncle, well, her father has to take her to the hospital and the kids are left alone with this new housekeeper and her family, and they do not get along, so the kids decide to just run away for a few days and have a great time, and that's what they do. So naturally they stumble on an adventure, and as you can imagine there's lots of food again because they eat all the time, so you really might get hungry reading these books. But yeah, it was a cute book, as I mentioned in my previous video. This used to be one of my favorites in the series and it's still really cute and I still like it a lot. And the only other book that I managed to finish is The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead, which I think got a Pulitzer Prize this year. And I really liked it. I can definitely see why that happened because it's beautiful. It tells the story of Cora, who is a slave on this plantation in Georgia, and another slave, Caesar, sort of convinces her to run away, and they use the Underground Railroad, which is in fact a railroad underground in this book, which, you know, it was not in fact in history, but it was, it's a sad topic naturally, and it manages to also be somewhat optimistic. I really liked the writing, it was really engaging. I just loved how it flew. Some of the sentences was just so beautiful and it was such a joy to read this book. I loved Cora. She was a fighter, she was really spirited, and she was a young girl, you know. She's about 16 when the book starts, and we basically follow her story to freedom. And along the line, you know, there's other people that help her or otherwise impact her life, and we get to learn a bit about those as well. And I was really pleasantly surprised by how much I love this book. It's actually a fast read. If I was in a more reading mood, I would definitely read it faster than I did. But yeah, I was just really surprised and I do recommend it, and I hope you guys pick it up if you haven't already. So what I plan to read this week is, I have a project, so it's not necessary, you know, for me to read it really fast, and that is a reread of Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. I am rereading it slowly, you know. I have read it last year, so I do not feel the pressure to, you know, dedicate all my time to it because basically I already know what happens, and I'm slowly rereading it, and you know, so I can read Lord of Shadows then. So yeah, this is still enjoyable. It's definitely not one of my favorite books by her, or let me say that, it's not one of my favorite first books in the series by her. I still prefer Clockwork Angel, but this one is still really enjoyable. I like the fact that, you know, the world building, well, we know the world already from all of the previous series, so it's sort of a bit more rushed at the beginning, you know, all the details are given again, so you're just sort of reacquainted with the world, and I really like that because I would hate, you know, to have to go through the learning process again. But if, you know, if you never read any of her books, that might be a bit problematic, or I don't know. I don't know actually. But yeah, so that's one of the books that I hope to get a bit more, you know, done. Well, it's not gonna get done, but I want to get a bit more further into it anyways. So the book that will be the focus of my attention this week is Cain and Abel by Jonathan Mathis. The author contacted me a while back and asked me if I would review his book for you guys, and that's what I plan to do. That's why I'm reading it. So it's a book that it's loosely based on the Cain and Abel story. We get to meet a dentist at the beginning of the book, and he has just gone through a major surgery and he's basically recuperating and relearning how to do everything. And that's where I'm at, yeah, so I, you know, cannot tell you anything more right now. It's slightly slow right now, but I'm sure that it's going to pick up, and yes, you will learn more about it next week. So those are my plans for this week, and let me know down in the comments what you are reading, what your plans are, and thank you for watching this video, and see you in my next one. Bye!